Just a couple of minutes ago, I've received a significant update of the operating system on the reMarkable Paper Pro. There is one noticeable feature which really improves how the screen behaves, how photos and text is rendered, and I want to share this with you because this might really increase the usability as an e-reader significantly, at least for me. Now here you see an ebook which I've purchased from a German bookstore where you can get PDF ebooks without DRM protection. And this particular ebook is a Nautic travel guide for skippers wanting to travel the lagoons of Venice and also other lagoons of the northern Adriatic with their own boat. Let's start with page number 1. This is, this is the cover page, and it includes a big photo of Venice. And here you see the black tones are very black. The white tones are really washed out, and because the contrast is actually too high, it is possible to use it like that. But the reason is the traditional setting of this device was to increase the contrast and readability of the text, which is happening here. So now let's swipe forward a few pages, and you see actually the text is really well readable. This is all fine. There is no, from a normal distance, there is no problems to read the text. It's sharp, it's crisp, it's absolutely okay. Now, next page, there again you have a photo, and you see a couple of things which may happen when the contrast is too high. Again, the trees here are almost black. The whites are washed out completely, so there is no nuances anymore. And also, because the contrast is very high on the sky, you see typical compression artifacts of likely JPEGs in the background. And this makes the whole thing, I mean, it's possible, but it's not extremely nice. Now, here is this new setting, which I really love, and you see the difference already. Here it says increase contrast, and it's set to full page. By the way, I did this before starting the video because the standard setting is now a different one, and this is called adaptive. And you see what happens immediately. The adaptive setting really makes the whole page more smooth, more uniform. Contrast is less high. You see that here are certain nuances of the trees visible, and the whole representation of the pictures is so much nicer than it used to be before. Now, here, let's go into some, here for example, the map is much nicer as well. And again, all the photos, wherever you go, in the presentation that has previously been applied when you selected a high contrast filter off. Now the difference was that this was applied to the full page. Now it is applied adaptively to photos only, and the text stays in the black high contrast for better readability. So let's look at this page. Here you see clearly this photo is okay. You can identify the details. It looks like a newspaper illustration. Of course, it's not the same as on a high quality calibrated screen, but at the same time you have the high contrast of the text, and you can really better read the text, while at the same time preserving here all the details, the sky, etc. For example, this I think could be tricky if it's in high contrast mode. Let's see how it looks. Back to full page, and you see here the white is completely washed out. This is almost black. You don't see any details anymore, and the text, as you have seen, stays exactly the same. Now let's go back again to adaptive, and look, text, high contrast, better readability, and the photos are much nicer. Now you see the details, and well, now to be honest, because the color is such an important factor for my use case, this small update, maybe it's minor for some of you, but it is something so significant that it really increases the value for me in a way that I actually was not expecting. So here again, ebook reading, classical, and here you have an evening picture of the lagoon with the boat and the water. Again, I think this could look much, much worse if it's in full contrast mode. Yeah, it's still possible, but the contrast is too high. Okay, same here. Let's see how the blue looks if you switch to full page mode. And again, you see it's very dark. And here you have the artifact of the in the sky, because then this is a compressed photo. So you have, as JPEG works, a couple of layers in a uniform color shading and color value. And of course, if this is not properly rendered in the full dynamic range, because it's too high contrast, then it looks like that. Here, this is still okay. It's possible, but it's very, very dark. But here, this looks awful. Now, going back to adaptive, you see how smooth and actually good looking these photos are now. And for all of you really appreciating to read books with have illustrations and not only graphs but also photos, this makes a huge difference. I will go into another book which I've purchased, and this is it's a weather guide, let's say. It's called the Weather Book in German for water sports. So it is particularly aimed at people going by boat, because you need obviously good knowledge about weather conditions if you are doing that. So it's a skipper book. Now again, this is in full page contrast. You see here, this is all white. Yeah, here it's all black. Here the fingers even are either white or have some color tone. And if you go to adaptive, you will realize, I hope you can see it in the video, but it's much, much smoother. This high contrast is moved away and it looks like a pleasant photo. And actually going to page 9, if I remember correctly, here you have a photo of a sailboat and you see the sky. You also see the waves, the waters, the texture of this image. And if you move this into, go back to full page high contrast mode, then you see everything is dark. And here you have as well, not so ugly, but unpleasant, I would say, artifacts of compression. And on this page, for example, this is an old barograph, so like a barometer recording the pressure, the air pressure on paper. Okay, this is actually a museum piece today, but you can see how it looks like, but the paper in itself, let's do it like this. So try to make it larger and show you how the details look. Okay, so you see now, actually you see compression artifacts all over around, and you see this is only white, has a couple of dirt dots. It looks almost like that in yellowish, and the frame is completely black. And this is, yeah. So here also a typical high contrast artifact. Now let's switch this particular image or this page back into adaptive mode. You will see that the text did not change, but here, yes, it's a very bright image, but you can see now the nuances. You can see that this dark artifact has gone away. You can see a little bit of the structure of the wood. It's still, again, newspaper quality. It's not highly, it's not like a photographic collection or something like that. So you see differences, and of course this is an e-ink device, but don't worry, because again you can now read and see the photos at the same time in the best possible quality. And I found in the last, I don't know, 30 minutes that the adaptive mode works really, really well. So I've not seen any confusion. The device obviously gets it right to analyze what is text and picture, and that makes it absolutely usable. Here, this is again a candidate which may look much worse because of the inherent high contrast already in the picture, even in the adaptive mode. Now, if you go to full page high contrast mode, you will see that, yeah, this looks now very ugly and this is almost black. You can't see anything. And again, text readability has not changed. It's exactly the same rendering as in adaptive mode, just that the device now recognizes this is a photo, I should treat it in a different way. This is a text, I should leave it high contrast. So for all of you using that as an e-reader, that's really a huge update, even if the announcement and the notes in the release notes was just like a small 3-line hint. But for me, this makes a huge difference in using this device. If you're interested, let's go into the last example. For example, this book about Croatia. And again, this is now in the adaptive mode, because that's the default for all the new settings. So if you open a book now, yeah, you see here are some artifacts of compression over the mountains. Here you see also extremely high contrast. It's still possible, but it's not nice, I would say. Back to adaptive mode, much smoother, much nicer than it used to be before. And for example, here, this is, I would say, is a classical example where you have photos and text on the same page. And here these photos look really okay. Let's again compare this with the full page mode. And you see, yeah, it's extremely high contrast. You have a lot of, this is full white, this is full black. It looks like somebody has cut this image and thrown away a piece of paper. This one is again very bright and extremely dark, so you see a significant difference in this setting when you change this to adaptive mode, where you can see now the color of the, well, this is the pier, obviously, in, I don't know, concrete or stone, and also here, yes, this is a dark image, so this cave here is dark, but again, it is absolutely great to watch it on this type of device. I hope this was helpful. This was just a short amendment this time to show you this feature, which is really a game changer for me, because it makes all my ebooks much more readable and much more pleasant to watch. And again, I was tending to use the less contrasty mode even for text, because again, in bright sunshine, if you put it away from your eyes, even this non-ideal text quality was good enough for me. But if you have a book, for example, about photography, then it's important that the pictures are not washed out in the whites and fully dark in the blacks. So you have a more nuanced view of the photos. And in this case, this allowed me to do this while sacrificing a little bit the quality of text. Now I can have both at the same time, and this is a huge update for me, even if it was just a small comment in the release notes. I will add the release notes under this video in the comment section. So please, if you like this, again, like and subscribe. See you soon. Have a nice day.